What's up, guys? Jason, New Guys Revolution down here in the cave, taking a break from the my favorite LJN tournament, indeed, to come on here with a good old-fashioned Saturday Night Rant. That's right, it's a Saturday Night Rant, and the reason it's a Saturday Night Rant is because I got a text message from my friend Tom Strickland, and he's a good guy, and he told me that the Pizza Hut in his town basically cleaned themselves out, took all the booths out, took those beautiful lamps that hang, took those out, and his Pizza Hut, his local Pizza Hut, is now a takeout only place. And he just, kind of went off on, feeling super sad at how much things have changed for the worse. Maybe I'm getting old, but I hate our culture right now, everything being purchased online, delivered to the door, DoorDash, drive-through, etc. Right, and so that got me thinking. Because it pairs with my rejuvenated interest in movies, in Blu-rays, okay? And when you go to, God, I remember, first of all, physical media is dying. It's dying at the retail level anyway, the brick and mortar retail, if you will. Your Walmarts, your Best Buys, your Targets. It's dying a slow death through those formats. Amazon and all that, I don't think it'll ever really go away entirely, maybe. Or it may, I don't know. But you go to, I was in Walmart the other day. I was looking for a stupid movie that was a Shudder exclusive. It was called Superhost. And I don't know why I had to see Superhost. I like Shudder. I like some of their exclusives. And this one came out on DVD. It's not even Blu-ray. It was DVD. And, it was supposed to be at Walmart. So I went to Walmart to look for it. And Walmart is down to 1 or 2 aisles of movies. Depending on which Walmart you go to. Near me, there's a bunch, but one of the Walmarts has literally half an aisle of media, and another one has maybe an aisle and a half. And I couldn't find this stupid movie, and I was looking around, and I was like, this is all going away. And then you go to Best Buy, and that was the big one. Best Buy used to have rows and rows of movies, and they had their own aisle for TV box sets. And, it was huge in Best Buy. And then they would have like $5 dump bins, and they would have, at Halloween they'd put out a horror section. And that's down to one L-shaped aisle at my Best Buy. It's disappearing, it's disappearing. And then on the other hand, you go to the flip side of the DVD aisle at Walmart, and you've got records and CDs back, right? So it's like, everything is... And, that just led me to thinking, why? Why do we have to continue morphing into something and just making collections obsolete? First it was the VHS collection. Then it was the DVD collection. Then it was the Blu-ray collection. Then they announced this 4K thing. And I'm like, that's cool. And now it's just like every streaming site that you can think of, you can, people put their movies on thumb drives. Or you buy the movie from Amazon Prime and you just somehow store it on your TV. And my problem is, if I did that, I would never watch anything, because I have to open the cabinet in my one of my living rooms. I have to open the cabinet and I have to scroll through the titles like a library, and that's when I know what I want to watch, right? So, but why did it have to change? Why couldn't we be okay with something like Blu-rays? Why couldn't we be okay with that? Why did everything have to change? And now it's changing. It's changing at the retail level. I mean, the store FYE used to have rows and rows of movies, all overpriced, but it was still fun to go in there and look at stuff. They had a used section. I went to there's a used video game chain in our area called Game Craze, And I went there looking for another PS4 controller, which are impossible to find. And right on the window, and the big stickers all over the window, it said, Blu-rays, buy, sell, trade. And so I went in there and I was like, oh, where's your Blu-ray section? And they're like, no, we don't have a Blu-ray section. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. Like it's obsolete, And then I found a place locally called Record Archive. And it's kind of famous in Rochester. It's been around for years, decades. And it's a record shop. It's huge. It's massive. I mean, it's like a warehouse. And they still have a huge section of used Blu-rays. And they're all $5 each. And I went in the other day, and I was like a kid in a candy store. I was just flipping through I came out, Liam's on like a King Kong Godzilla kick, so I came out with like 5 out of the 6 modern King Kong and Godzilla franchise movies. So there's one more we got to get Godzilla vs. Kong, right? But I found them there for $5 each. It was so fun. Like I felt like I was like finding gold. For $5 each, I'm finding these movies. Thrift stores are still only full of DVDs for some reason. I don't know why Blu-rays haven't made it to the thrift store level yet. And when they do, there's like 6 of them sitting right next to 500 DVDs. Anyway, it's just sad that's going away. And again, why? Why did it have to go away? Why did music? I was never a big music guy, right? So I don't care about albums or cassettes or CDs. I don't care about music for the most part at all. But now the concept of putting out an album is just in theory, right? For the most part, I don't think we're putting out albums anymore. I don't think we're having the record release party anymore, right? That used to happen here back in the day when I was a big Korn fan. We'd stand outside at midnight at this record store, and a bunch of us lunatics would stand outside and wait for 12:01. You could go in and buy the record. You could buy the CD on the record release date, right? They waited till 12:01. But now, obviously, that's a dead concept. Why? Why is it a dead concept? Why did we have to do that? Why did things have to change? The cell phone. Sure, it's lovely and it's helpful, and I just drove an hour and a half to go to a state park here, and used the old GPS the whole time. It was great, right? But what made us need to change? Why wasn't it okay to just have the phone at the house, and a quarter for a payphone? Like, I get car phones happen, people, only the fancy people had the car phones, and then that somehow morphed into the iPhone, I guess. And now none of us can imagine living without it. And sadly, the question of could we survive without it, now it's just not a matter of, making do. The world has relied on this technology. So could we survive without it? No. I'm afraid, the financial institutions would explode, and I don't know, delivery services and food and all kinds of stuff that's somehow relying on, technology and the internet and things like that would be gone. Video games have stayed relatively true, I suppose. I mean, they're all kind of obviously advanced, and graphics have, improved through the roof. But, what I'm noticing a lot with video games is a lot of storytelling, a lot of, basically watching a movie and then playing a portion of it, and then watching a movie and then playing a portion of it, and so on. And so my kids are getting into like these fun little games that you can get on like the PlayStation Store. We're playing Fall Guys now, and that's just it's just a good old throwback to an old school video game. Like you just run and try to get through an obstacle course before 49 other online people get through first. And it's cool, right? There's no cutscenes, there's no story mode, there's no movie clips, it's just a good old fashioned video game. changes. I'm not a change guy. I think by the theme of the channel, you're aware of that. I'm okay with the way things used to be, especially when it comes to our home entertainment. When soon I'm going to do an episode on my TV guides, but we're going to take a specific look at the 1984 TV guide, and we're going to try to figure out if we could possibly get by living in 1984 with the television options that we had at the time. Most of us didn't have cable in 1984. And so we'll look at it as if we didn't have cable and we had 5 channels to watch. I can promise you, there's a good portion of your day, most days of the week, that you would not even bother turning on the television because there was nothing to watch. Or did we just extend our interests and we could enjoy things that were on? You know, the black and white movie from 1939 airing on a Sunday. Would we turn off the television and go find something else to do? Or would we, maybe as adults, actually sit down and go, I'm gonna check out this movie that I'll never, ever see anywhere else? Because it's the only thing on. You know? I don't know. But I'm looking at the TV guide and I'm like, man, why did this have to change? Why couldn't we be okay with 17 channels? Because I guarantee you this, if you have Spectrum or Comcast or Dish or Direct, and you have 380 channels, I can assure you you're only watching 17 of them anyway. You know, you don't care about the rest of the channels that you have. You don't. You really don't, because there's 11 or 12 news channels. There's 45 local regional sports channels. You know, you throw in a bunch of Spanish channels, and unless you're Spanish, of course, then you would enjoy those. But we're not watching 90% of the television channels that we have available if you have a standard provider. If you've got the streaming sites, then whatever, it's just a la carte. You know, you're just picking what you want anyway. But I don't like the fact that I am going to have to, you know, constantly jump on Amazon to order a movie. I went and bought the Ghostbusters, the new Ghostbusters last week. And I looked forward to that. That was fun for me to get in the car and drive to, I think I got it at Target. Drive to Target and walk to the aisle and see the little display and grab the movie off the shelf and buy it. That was exciting for me. That was the first time I'd done that with a new release in a long time. And it was cool. It was fun. And I knew, all right, Tuesday is, you know, release day. I'm gonna be there Tuesday and I'm gonna grab this movie. And it was cool. It was a fun. And guess what? It was released on streaming like 2 weeks prior, but I didn't watch it. I didn't care to watch it. I wanted to own, and I overpaid. I paid $30 for a 4K of Ghostbusters, right? Because I want to. Because I want to have the movie. I'm telling you, if I lived alone, if I had my way, my movies would be displayed as they were in 1986 when we considered them decor. My movies would be on the wall like a library. Absolutely. You know, right now they have to be behind closed doors, right? We can't possibly show our movies. But they would be out. They would be just out on shelves. Right? I don't want to stream Ghostbusters. I want to watch the overpriced disc. Anyway, it depresses me that things changed. And they're only changing more. You know, they're going to... I don't know where we're headed, but physical media has got me concerned. I'm a little nervous about it. You know, I think we're going to have to rely on secondary markets, secondhand shops, and then, you know, your secondary stuff like Amazon. Because I think there's going to come a time when we walk into Walmart and you know, they're gone. You know, they're not there. I don't know. Anyway, that's my Saturday night rant. We'll do the tournament tomorrow. We'll get right back into it. The semis and finals are tomorrow. Damn, those kids. And that's that. So I will see you all Sunday with the finals of the LJN tournament. Good night now. Go buy a movie from Target.